Gracie Matisse, KRCG 13, live at sunrise.
Ashland police are identifying the man they believe made these 2 bullet holes in this vehicle while an officer was inside. And you can see the one is further up on the windshield, and this one right here is right near the dashboard. It actually went through the vehicle into that dashboard. The press conference did wrap up just a few minutes ago, and we had some big players here. MoDOT is telling me that there are no injuries, which is pretty amazing given the size of these rocks. I mean, look at how big this rock is.
The sooner the IRS starts accepting returns, the sooner you have the potential to get money back from Uncle Sam.
Now, I just mentioned those pre-filed bills. Take a look. This list right here, this whole list, 23 pages of pre-filed bills. 41-year-old Clint Bear thought he was going to meet up with a mother and her 14-year-old daughter for sex on Monday in Wentzville. Turns out he actually ended up getting arrested.
This photo right here was taken of the first couple that got married in the cave back in 1949, Mr. and Mrs. Cole from Sedalia.
But as you can see, that ice and that snow is not keeping those Missourians in bed today. The road conditions are looking okay here in Fulton. A little slick, a little wet, but not completely covered. That's not the case, however, for some of the highways out there. I did decide to have a little friend join me there. As you can see, Grindstone and Providence, those look a lot whiter because of that ice. Now, MoDOT did issue a refreeze warning last night, and that's just because of how low those temperatures drop. As a mother, Walker says her son's diagnosis made her realize the hardships blind people and people with low vision face every day. When I asked Harrison what it is like to see his friends and family helping him, he said that he just couldn't ask for anything more for this devastating situation. And he also said that they've rented a dumpster for about a month and they're preparing for a long cleanup. Police are still investigating the scene behind me around one of the mobile homes. Earlier, they had police tape clearing off some part of North Summit Drive. I spoke to a sergeant with the Columbia Police Department who says there is one person dead and they are calling this a death investigation.
Smaller vaping devices, referred to as salt nicks, have the ability to carry up to 50 milligrams of nicotine, whereas vaping devices that use regular nicotine only carry up to half of that.
I wear a hat like these guys do all the time, you know. And I'm always have people come up and shake my hand, thank me for my service, and we appreciate that. We really do. You might not think it, just thank you for your service, you know. Most people, you know, it makes you feel good down here.
Stanley Williams and the rest of the veterans will be returning to Missouri tonight from Washington. There have been no reported cases of coronavirus in Missouri, but just the latest count from the state says there have been over 27,000 cases of the flu just this year. During the ceremony, a bell will ring out 18 times to represent the 18 years that have passed since the 9/11 attacks. This furry phenomenon went viral on social media because of its special forehead accessory. It's only the 3rd year that Warm Springs Ranch has welcomed visitors for the holidays, and they hope to make it a tradition. Thankfully, Clydesdales like Rex here are used to the spotlight. In Boonville, Gracie Matisse, KRCG 13. Check this out. We have got an operation in here, and busy is probably an understatement. As you can see, the line is wrapping all around this store. Now, I am here with the co-owner, Amy Atkinson, of the Candy Factory here. So, Amy, what is the preparation that goes into a day like Valentine's Day? Peter, I just want to get right into this. What do you want voters to take away from your book, Profiles in Corruption? I've got this parsnip, this kale. I don't know what I'm doing in here, but Aaron Washburn, he is a coach with the CrossFit Unstoppable. He says that this right here, the produce section, is the place to be. But Aaron, let's talk about, when you first come into the grocery store, what
what do you want to do? What's the game plan?
And so there'll be a lot of chili to go around tonight.
You can do the math. That is a lot of chili. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved and why you're doing this cook-off tonight.
It doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're doing it, it's pretty bad.
And as you can see, they just started doing the power snatches behind us. They'll just start doing that in a minute here, and those are intense looking. This will be Susan's first power hour plunge tonight. That sounds really exciting. Tell me really quickly just the fun that they're going to have tonight.
Don't be afraid, Susan. It really is fun.
So that is the gist of this back to basics. A lot of fun cooking class in here. I had a little taste of the meals that we've been cooking as well. Absolutely delicious. Smells really good too.
We'd probably have you blow in our portable breath test or to see if there's the presence of alcohol. So are you ready?
Yes, let's do that.
All right.
Okay.
Ready? Good blow. Ooh, you're not driving today, are you?
A veteran-run urban farm is set to start up in the spring of 2020 to serve mid-Missouri veterans. What seems like an odd partnership between a local garden and a nationwide healthcare system is actually a perfect fit. The Department of Veteran Affairs is one of the largest healthcare systems in the country, and they're no stranger to doing their research.
There's been a lot of research into agrotherapy and how being outside can increase your endorphins and just generally make you happier. So what we're wanting to do is get our veterans out of the hospital setting.
Out of a hospital setting and into a garden. It's a partnership between the Truman VA and the Columbia Center for Urban Agriculture, where veterans will take over.
We're really excited to be partnering with the Truman VA to take this farm to the next generation and the next style of management and the next strategic partnership to use this acre and a third to serve the community.
The garden will serve as a therapeutic outlet for some and full-time employment for others. Army veteran Dustin Cook already works with the garden, and he'll be applying for the job through the VA. He says he's happy to see them grow.
The VA is taking a more holistic approach to therapy for veterans. A lot of veterans who suffer from PTSD tend to isolate themselves, and so getting them out and giving them a sense of community and a sense of purpose really goes a long way in combating the mental health crisis that exists in the veteran community.
The Centers for Disease Control says last year's flu season had high levels of people making trips to the emergency room.
But the majority of people in America still aren't getting vaccinated. KRCG 13's Gracie Matisse spoke with health officials about why that could be.
Have you gotten your flu shot this year?
Not this year, especially just a lot going on. I don't feel like there's much time, and it's all right. If I get sick, I get sick, and if I don't, good luck.
If you haven't, you're not alone. The CDC blames misconceptions about the vaccine as part of the reason why only 37% of adults got their shot in the 2017 to 2018 season.
One of the most common things that I hear is, well, I never get the flu. And my answer to those people is, well, you have family members or coworkers or people who have asthma, diabetes that you can help protect.
But another number shows how difficult it is to protect against the virus. Last season, the flu vaccine was only 29% effective. That's because it's mostly a guessing game to know how the virus will mutate when the flu season hits the States.
The way that they manufacture the vaccine is they look at what happened last season, and they also look at what is happening in the Western Hemisphere.
Studies show even if you get the flu after getting the vaccine, it reduces symptom severity, and it also helps protect groups who are the most vulnerable to having complications that could result in hospitalization.
The CDC says the flu vaccine helped prevent 5.3 million flu-related illnesses in 2017 alone, which makes any uncertainty worth the pinch. Reporting in Columbia, Gracie Matisse, KRCG 13.
She didn't even flinch. The CDC recommends getting your flu shot by the end of October.